tonight. Sorry for the earlier tradition. I know it's 6:15 at the time that's supposed to be, but due to medical issues and stuff, I have to come to you early tonight. And that's my promise to you is to come to you every night. And tonight is decluttering how to have more flexibility and have peace in life. I'm going to discuss ways that you can have more peace in your life and be more flexible about it because these things are what set you up to be more flexible in life, and that's huge. Being having peace in life is a huge thing because when you have peace in life, you're able to contribute more. You're able to have more time. Your mind is freed up in space. It reminds me is that is happiness a destination, or is happiness or success a destination? Well, we can look at it as outcomes because outcomes never really have a destination. Outcomes are what come out of what we've thought about, and usually in order to have that in peace, you got to have something beyond that in order to give peace. But in the meantime, in order to get these things done, you have to be more flexible about life itself. And that's a huge one for a lot of folks. And I know for me, being able to be more flexible and not rigid at all is a huge thing. And there are some ways I'm going to share with you tonight about how you can be more flexible in life. And one of them is meditation. Meditation can be prayer. Meditation can be, clearing your thoughts of your mind. It could be taking just deep breaths in between, difficulties or challenges. Or it can be practical as just, guided meditation of some sort. And that is huge. And those are just some of the things as far as meditation that can make your life more flexible because they make your mind stronger because you're able to be able to get things more done. And then there's communication. Communication is huge because if you don't have communication with yourself or others, there's a lot that's going to weigh you down as far as anything. It could weigh things down in your mind, it can weigh down things in your soul, and it could weigh things down in your relationships with people about not having to be flexible for more peace in your life. And then you have to learn from difficult experiences. Oh, yes, I can tell you about a difficult experience that I had today. I get a notice from my insurance company that says, you're canceled. But then I call them and says, no, we got your payment. You're not canceled. So, it's interesting because sometimes when we don't have communication with ourselves or other people, we jump to conclusions, and that makes us inflexible, and not being inflexible and definitely invades our peace. It definitely invaded my peace for a short time. And being an entrepreneur, I can't go off into a million different directions because being a former hoarder turned declutterer, it definitely doesn't lead into the right space of keeping my mind organized. It has a way of going off into different directions, and that's huge as far as I'm concerned. If I send my mind off into a million different directions, I really can't think. And as an entrepreneur, I really have to keep my mind in a certain space as far as things are concerned, and that's huge as far as life itself. And then you have to be creative about what you're doing, and creativity could mean painting rocks. It could be doing something nice for somebody else, creating, a peace collage, something that represents peace to you. Or it can mean taking a walk in nature and just, sometimes some people think that walking just with your feet in nature on grass or something helps you have a connection with earth. And that, I guess there's some other things because there's things that we draw up from the earth that when we wear shoes that we don't necessarily can get, and that is a proven fact. And just a whole bunch of things, or enjoying beautiful things, as far as our creativity, things that help grow our mind, things that help make us learn and be more than who we are. And that being more than who we are, is huge. When you realize that you can be more than who you are, that you're not just made up of blood vessels and skin and all sorts of stuff. Well, we are made up of so many things that, if you were to put us actually in value, we're only probably worth about $5 as far as actual monetary value. But if you just think about all our thinking, our thoughts, all the things that come out of creation is huge. And then you realize that, for a lot of these things, that, life doesn't have to be so short. And then there's activity. Go out and enjoy life. Ride a bike. Do some hopscotch. All these things create more flexibility because you know what? It frees up the space between the 2 years, as I call it. And for me, that's a biggie, being able to do things that make up my space, and or talking with folks that understand is a positive thing. Or listening to your favorite song. I have some favorite songs to list that just get me a grooving and a grooving and moving. You can't even begin to think about that. And decluttering your home and creating a more peaceful space, a space that's more pleasant and more occupiable, if you'll think about it, as far as an activity. And then there's solitude. I know for a lot of us, considering this modern world of COVID and not, a lot of us have actually been in solitude. And if you were to consider how busy a world we are in, solitude was probably a welcoming kind of thing. But the one thing about all of it is that when you have that solitude, being in our homes and everything, for some of us that drove us stir crazy because we didn't even know how to be with ourselves and live with ourselves. But the one point is that if you're able to live with yourselves in the quiet of your own mind, that creates that solitude and that peace and that flexibility in your mind, that you're flexible enough that you're okay with yourself. And when you're okay with yourself, that breeds connection, not only connection to yourself, but connection to other people, connection, with, friends and neighbors and family members, and creates much more peaceful relationships. Boy, being flexible sure has a lot of bennies to it, if I can't even begin to say. And then if I could only say is that we have a sense of contribution to what we do, and having a sense of contribution to what we do is huge, and having contribution is beautiful. Contribution to helping folks, or volunteering, or giving up your time and your money. Oh boy, contribution is huge, because I come to every Facebook Live, and that is my contribution to you, because I give up my heart and my soul and everything to you guys, because you're a very precious gift to me as far as I'm concerned. I know I've been coming a little earlier to things, and there'll probably be a switch out of times to a more applicable time, probably. Having a discussion with my workers. We'll probably be switching the time out to about 5:45 in the evening, as far as that's concerned, because I do have some commitments, and I have to admit my life is changing somewhat, and I just thought I'd put this out there to you, because this is important to me, that I get the word out to you, and that you guys know what's coming, and that from this point on, that you understand that I have church commitments and commitments to people that I want to always commit. Just like I want to keep my commitment to you to come to you every night, and I know I've come in a little earlier, and I apologize for that. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for Life. Remember, my book is coming out on a hoarder the secrets of a hoarder turned declutter. It's about life, and it's going to be a wonderful book. And I can't even begin to say that it has lots of great stuff, whether you're a hoarder or a clutter, or even things about life and the different aspects of life. And it's going to be only the first of other books, and probably later on this year there's going to be a book about my life coming out, and that should be huge. I'm hoping that you'll enjoy all this as much as I've enjoyed giving it to you and having it happen. And I will let you know the time and place where you can get your copy. As of right now, it's going to be in a PDF form, and that's going to be going out shortly. So with that, I wish you a great Declutters Delight for life. Have hope, have peace and tranquility, and remember, be flexible and have peace in life. And I wish you the best.